So who's going to win the election next week? I think Trump, and I think he's going to win decisively. But I have to come up against the polls, which seem to say differently. And they do give me a little bit of pause for the simple reason that I don't want to confuse what I want to be the case with what is going to be the case. But I'm suspicious of the polls. Now, Trump calls them suppression polls and points to various ways in which polls can be manipulated, oversampling Democrats, other kind of techniques of bringing about the result you want.
So Biden is leading Trump in the averages of nearly every battleground state, some by large margins. If you're looking at states like Michigan and Wisconsin, Biden is leading by 6 to 9 percentage points. In Pennsylvania, Biden's leading by 4 to 5, depending on the average you're looking at.
Now, why would pollsters want to do this? Why would they put their own reputation on the line? Part of it, I think, is the pollsters are drawn from the same community that produces academia and the media and a lot of the entertainment sector. They live in a bubble, and they're determined to do what they can, their part, if you will, as a profession, to try to thwart Trump, to try to push Biden across the finish line. So this is their agenda. And they're a little bit like the boxer who before the fight goes, "I'm going to beat you, I'm going to kick your butt." Why do boxers do that? They do it to demoralize the opposition. And so the pollsters know that they have a ridiculous candidate. Biden is simply a preposterous individual. And ordinarily, you'd have to give some explanation for why this corrupt, senile dotard, this guy walking around like he's in an old folks' home or a lunatic asylum, how did this guy end up on the top of a major party ticket? So the professionals have to sort of stage all this and pretend like, oh, his victory is inevitable. He's marching to victory.
Right now, as of Friday morning, they give Joe Biden an 89% chance of winning the election outright and Donald Trump a 10% chance.
So suppress your doubts about the guy. So the independent guy goes, well, I kind of want to back a winner, so maybe I should back this guy, even though everything my eyes show me tells me that this guy doesn't even know what day it is. So there's an effort to create a result by giving it an air of inevitability. I think at the end of the day, these pollsters are going to be shown up to be frauds. I live in a very red part of Texas. And interestingly, there's not a lot of people who have Trump hats, Trump shirts, at the bank or at the grocery store. Why? In part because of the culture of intimidation that the left has created. So these guys they're for Trump. They're going to vote for Trump. They've probably voted for Trump. They just don't want some guy hassling them at the grocery store or keying their car. And so the Trump vote, I guess what I'm saying, is suppressed. And so here's the second factor. You've got the guy voting for Trump, but when some pollster calls him, he goes, oh, I'm undecided. Why? Because he knows that there is this culture of threat, of intimidation, and so he's just going to keep it to himself, but cast a ballot for Trump on election day. For these reasons, I believe the pollsters are going to be shocked, the media is going to be shocked, the left is going to be shocked, Trump is going to cruise to victory.